Miles does. So we'll go to the next picture. So I'm just gonna. So I don't think everybody knows, but Jim did work in healthcare some. So there's Jim being a.
And just like now, he still works for Sheila.
That's exactly right. He worked for me there. I
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. We can go next. And that was after surgery, by the way. It took about a year, and then after surgery, he was all better. This is our 10-year reunion. The top one is his, and the bottom one is my 10-year reunion. But all after surgery, he got his hair back. It was about a year, and I remember when we met, right? And we met on the beach in like June 28th, you know. And then he had surgery in August. And I remember after the surgery, you know, I thought everything would be better, you know, in a couple months, and it wasn't. And I was like calling the doctor up in New York going, this does change. I made a big commitment here. Yeah. This isn't the way it's always going to be, right? And he wouldn't wear a hat or anything. So he would take me out to the mall, and they only cut half his hair off, and the other half was down there. And I didn't get him the right hat, because his mother and I were up in New York, and he had described the hat that he wanted, and we were up in New York, going up and down New York, and you got to know his mom's real country, you know, and she's in New York, and we're down like in Harlem, and we're going in the shops, and we're walking like blocks and blocks hunting for a hat for Jim, and his mother's going, ooh, mercy, I don't think we should be down here. And I kept going, oh, come on, Richie, just blend in, please blend in. And she's going, oh, no, mercy. Well, we never could. We brought back several hats, never could find one, and he would never wear one. So I got used to it. But after, well, he got back into the gym within a few months, and by, you know, a few months later, he was doing great. And we went to reunions.
No.
Next.
No.
Well, this is before kids, so it's just, you know, anyone that has children, we were really happy. It was a great time. Next. We're very happy now with the kids, too. We used to play around a lot. I'm not pregnant there. You know, that I was Mother Earth, and Jim was Eternity. So, yeah.
Very sweet.
Yeah. Halloween. Jim would never put that kind of makeup on anymore.
No, too toxic.
Too toxic, of course. And then Jim doing what he loves, and he was a personal trainer after healthcare. He did personal training for a lot of people down in Virginia and York County area, and he did a lot of bodybuilding, but never did anything professionally. But he spent, I don't know, it was about 10 years. 10 years personal training. But the next slide, this is to embarrass him.
Yes.
I didn't even know that was my husband when I got these pictures together. The guy on the right, I really thought was one of his good friends, Mark. And I was like, why on earth do I have pictures of Mark looking like that?
It's got a mullet, yeah.
It's the hair, it's the mullet. I was like, oh my God, that does not look like my husband.
Yeah, he always had hair.
We can go next. And then he spent about 10 years doing knife fighting with a gentleman by the name of Mac, and that's actually another one of his friends, Scott, that he's trying to beat up there. But he had a really good time. Next. And then we were always animal lovers. This again is before children. So I think at one point we had 4 dogs and about 6 cats. So we were, I think I was 36 before we had kids, and he was about 38. So, you know, of course you have to put your love into something, so we had a lot of animals. And I see how Osiris, you know, looks just like, that's actually Spike.
Yeah,
This
Spike.
is another dog. We went hunting for a dog that looked just like that dog, Spike. So Osiris actually looks like that. This is just friends back in Virginia, having fun before kids again.
Jim, just so you know, we did have fun with kids.
Nothing personal.
Nothing personal. And then our wedding. There's Miles and the guys. I am kissing you.
You got the same, I had more hair then.
That's why I
Yes,
kissed you.
indeed.
And then we had a wonderful time at our wedding. We did our wedding in our home, and we had a great time. And there's Jim's buds. And now the children come along. So there's Jimmy with little Tear. Go next. And then, how lucky is my husband? He was adopted, and he had very wonderful parents, and very loving and beautiful. And then we were very fortunate, right after our wedding, we were able to meet his biological parents. So that was actually Spike and Connie, and the kids have always known them as their grandparents. So the kids got 2 sets of grandparents from Jim's side of the family, and they were very lovely people. And still married, and Jim was their only child.
Oh.
But there's Jimmy and Tear with their grandma and grandpa, one of them. Next. And then we moved into an era, and you can roll through these kind of quickly, Jimmy, but I'll tell a story as he's rolling through these pictures. So Jim, he did the personal training, he did healthcare, but then he also, anybody that knows Jim knows that he's really into fitness and really into health and eating the right things and no contaminants on your skin, no perfume, no fingernail polish, no toenail polish.
Yeah.
He bought a health food store. But why we bought this health food store was a story behind that. Sheila was tired and wanted to take an RV, sell her house, get an RV, and run around the country for a few years. And I was dead set on this, and my husband knew that. And my husband was dead set on, he was rooted in York County, his parents and everybody was there, and between the debate of going around the country in an RV, we somehow ended up a town over him owning a health food store. And it was the worst 3 years of our life. And the kids and Jim will attest to it. And so we spent 3 years there, and then we ended up coming here to Hawaii after that. But in those 3 years we were spending there, we were trying to figure out still a compromise between an RV around the country.
Not living like a gypsy.
He's not living like a gypsy. We can keep going.
And is the store still a health food store?
We did, yeah. It's still called Healthy Solutions.
And Jim did put on weight at one time.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, this is Jim being, good to be Jim.
I remember you telling me
He
about
likes to
that.
play dress up.
La 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 la.
See, look at him. I told you. This is him. Has the pluck and Beauty and the Beast. And see Santa now. Look at this. He loves to dress up.
That bearded side.
And then occasionally he makes me dress up. See,
Nice.
The boys were scared to come here. They were like, who are these people that are trying to let us? And that just an adventure at St. Mary's River, back home. Looks like Hawaii, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not Hawaii. It's the boys. There's he never wears a shirt. I swear to God, that was like years ago. My husband doesn't put a shirt on.
Take it off, take it off.
You were worried about that? You always got your shirts. It's like, yeah, I know the people back home are like, does your husband ever wear a shirt anymore? But the boys are really up high there on the rocks. They were climbing. And this is just a good friend of his from kindergarten, Paul. And
Who has the exact same birthday as me.
yep,
Whoa.
he does. So he's 52 right now.
50 also.
Also,
As
yes.
well, as well.
Thank you. You can tell I'm not the school teacher. Now this is another one. My husband's insane. And
Is that your RV? Did you get a mini RV?
I got one because I was gonna at least run around for a while.
Yeah.
So me and the kids, Jim would go occasionally, but But we were trying to find a place to move, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we were trying to set up those 3 years, we were trying to figure out criteria of where to go permanently. Cause we, you know, we left a lot of families, so.
My
it was-
criteria, warm.
Yeah,
That's
good
right.
criteria.
Yeah.
But yet he did crazy things like this.
Yeah.
He, you know, health, right, health and fitness. He used to every single solitary morning have a bucket that he would put out and fill up the night before. And it would fill up with ice,
Yeah.
and sharp ice. And he would walk out every morning and just pour the bucket on himself because it's supposed to increase your immune system.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you know, kids like to follow along with what their parents do. And this is Jimmy doing it.
Wow. Strong constitution.
But you know, like, usually kids are smarter than their parents.
Yeah.
So
Insanity.
Jimmy would know to get in the heat right away. So he would do it and he'd jump right in the heat. And then we got to Hawaii finally in April of 2009. And this is one of our first adventures here. The boys were pretty young there, weren't they? Yeah. And there's Daddy doing what he likes to do with the boys, reading to them. And then Jim, you know, being a kid like he likes to be. And there were a lot of kids around there too, you know. It's like, Jim, I'm in the back going, Jim, come on.
This is one of
That
those
was like a
dance
resort
recitals at the
bar,
Waikoloa Hilton.
Now Jim's not jumping off. This is at Cocoa Trail on Oahu, up at the top. They were up there and I was trying to get up there.
There it goes.
Yeah. I ended up bear crawling. They were already up at the top. Wait,
Stairway to heaven, yeah.
whew, it's rough. And then there's Dad racing with the boys, and that's exactly what they were doing. Dad wanted to race. And then Dad ends up winning. We're almost through. And then
Aw.
Dad, what Jim's doing now is he's
Right.
that's actually him signing his first one.
No.
That's
Yeah.
what he's doing here.
Yeah.
Yay!
All
That is
right.
your life, Jim. You'll be embarrassed you get
Big
enough.
love.
Yep, yep.
He
Yay!
does not like the center attentions.
We should sing something like, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a
Oh, that's